Every hotel you have ever stayed in made a decision about the color of the sheets, not the thread count, not the fabric, the color. And every luxury hotel on the planet made the same decision. White. Always white. The Ritz. The Four Seasons. Marriott. Hilton. Park Hyatt. Every single one. Different countries, different price points, different brands. Same color sheets. That is not a coincidence. That is a system. And once you see why it works, you start seeing the rest of the room differently. A hotel operations manager I spoke to put it simply. He said, "White is not a design choice. It is an economic choice. White sheets can be washed together in one batch. Hundreds of sets. Same cycle, same temperature, same industrial bleach. Colored sheets require sorting, separate temperatures, gentler detergents. That difference adds up to roughly 40% more time and energy per load. Across a hotel with 300 rooms turning over daily, that is not a rounding error. That is a line item on a budget sheet. White is cheaper. That is the first reason. But that is only the operational layer. The second layer is trust. White shows everything. A stain, a hair, a smudge of makeup, a faint yellow mark from a previous guest. If the sheet is white and it looks clean, you believe it is clean. You don't need to see a certificate. You don't need to ask housekeeping. Your eyes already confirmed it. That is the psychology. White doesn't hide problems. It broadcasts them. Which means when you see a perfectly white bed, your brain registers safety. Not because the room is sterile, but because white made the inspection automatic. Here is the thing. That same logic runs through every other detail in the room, and most people never notice. Walk into the lobby of any mid-range or luxury hotel and take a breath. There is a smell. It is subtle, clean, slightly warm, maybe a hint of citrus or sandalwood. That smell is not accidental. It is a signature scent, diffused through the air conditioning system, chosen by a branding agency, and tested across focus groups before it ever reached your nose. The Westin uses white tea. The W hotels use a blend they developed with a perfume house. Marriott properties have their own. Some chains spend over $200,000 developing a single scent profile. The machines that distribute it are hidden inside heating and ventilation ducts, programmed to release at intervals calibrated to the size of the space and the foot traffic patterns. The scent is designed to do one specific thing: create a memory anchor. Smell is the only sense that routes directly to the limbic system, the part of the brain that processes memory and emotion, which means a hotel scent bypasses your conscious evaluation entirely. When you smell it again, even years later, even in a completely different city, you associate it with that feeling of checking in. Clean room, cold air, everything taken care of. That association drives repeat bookings more effectively than any loyalty program discount. A hospitality branding study found that guests exposed to a consistent signature scent rated their experience 11% higher than guests in identical unscented rooms. Same bed, same service. Same price. The only difference was the air. Now look at the bathroom mirror. Stand in front of it. Notice how your skin looks. Warmer, smoother, more even. That is not your imagination. Hotel bathroom lighting is angled from above and slightly in front, usually at about 45 degrees. It fills in shadows under your eyes and along your jawline. The color temperature sits around 3000 Kelvin. Warm enough to make skin tones glow, but not so warm that it feels yellow. A friend who consults for hotel interior firms told me the mirror lighting alone accounts for a measurable difference in guest satisfaction scores. People who feel like they look good in the bathroom rate the entire stay higher. Not the bed. Not the food. The mirror. Then there is the minibar. Open it. There is a bottle of water for something like $14, a small jar of cashews for $11, a chocolate bar for $8, Those prices seem absurd, and they are. But that is the point. The minibar is not a convenience store. It is a pricing anchor. That $14 water bottle exists so that the $6 coffee in the lobby cafe feels reasonable. The $40 room service breakfast feels like a deal compared to assembling one from the minibar. The math is designed to make everything else in the hotel seem fairly priced by comparison. I stayed at a hotel in Singapore last year where the minibar water was $18. The restaurant downstairs charged $9 for a glass of wine. I caught myself thinking, that is actually not bad. And then stopped and realized what just happened. The minibar had recalibrated my sense of what things should cost without me noticing. A revenue management consultant once described it to me as the most profitable product in the hotel that nobody buys. Its job is not to sell water. Its job is to reframe every other price in the building. And then there is the lobby itself. The speed you walk through it, the direction you look, the time you spend there. All designed. High ceilings make you slow down. Narrow corridors speed you up. The check-in desk is positioned so you face the most impressive part of the space. Usually the window or the central feature. The seating is arranged so that waiting feels intentional, not frustrating. Even the floor surface matters. Carpet slows foot traffic. Marble speeds it up. Hotels use both strategically. Putting carpet in areas where they want you to linger and hard floors on paths to elevators. Music tempo is calibrated. Slow music in lobbies makes people linger, spend more at the bar, feel less rushed. Faster tempo in hallways keeps traffic moving. A study from the University of Leicester found that background music tempo affects walking speed by up to 15% without people being aware of it. Lighting follows the same logic. Lobbies are brighter near reception and dimmer near the bar, guiding your attention and your mood across the space without a single sign telling you where to go. None of this is a conspiracy. Nobody is sitting in a dark room plotting against you. This is design. Good design. Decades of hospitality research, environmental psychology, and behavioral economics compressed into the experience of walking into a room and feeling like everything is just right. The white sheets, the scent, the mirror, the minibar, the lobby. Each one is a system optimized for a specific response, and the response is always the same. Make the guest feel taken care of, comfortable, and slightly more willing to spend. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And honestly, that is not a bad thing. Understanding the system doesn't ruin the experience. It just means you appreciate it for what it actually is. Not magic, not luck, engineering. That is the room. But the building is only half of the accommodation game. Airbnb hosts play by completely different rules, different incentives, different pricing tricks, different ways of making you feel like you are getting a deal when the math says otherwise. And one host finally walked me through the whole system. That is next.